Hello, my dear friend. So, we are into the last model of ratios where we are going to solve a lot of questions which are very important from the point of view of the examination. So, model 6, what kind of questions will appear in model 6? Okay, this I forgot for this. Also, we need to remember this one given actual value divided by ratio value will give me what? It will give me one ratio value, that is 1 RV, which is very important because on that basis only we are going to solve. So this you need to remember. I go on reminding so that you don't forget it. 1 RV, we are 1, and then whenever you get this one you can multiply it with the required, whatever value is required, the corresponding ratio value. So if you multiply 1 RV with RRV, you will get whatever answer you want. Okay, that is fine, I think. So we are going into the model 6 miscellaneous type of questions, all type of questions which are related somehow with the ratio, but you will not be able to classify them. All those kind of questions I have put it here. A lot of these questions are directly, I say more than 80% of these questions have been directly taken from the examination. So be very careful and try to understand it properly. Out of three positive numbers, the ratio of first and the second numbers is 3 is to 4, and that of we should have written, and it's okay, and that of the second and the third numbers is 5 is to 6. If the product of the second and the third numbers is 4320, what is the sum of the three numbers? Very interesting question. So we'll take those numbers as A, B and C. Okay, the first number to second number is 3 is to 4, and second number to the third number is 5 is to 6. It is based on combining, that is the previous one. So we are going to, but here there is product is given, so I put it separately. So 3 5s are 15, 4 5s are 20, and 4 6 are 24. This is the new ratio. So what they are saying, the product of second and third, so B and C, so 20 into 24. Now we need to be very careful. What happens in this case is, see, if we are multiplying this, see, these numbers are the ratio values with which we have to multiply the HCF for one ratio value. So here, this, to get the first number, we have to multiply with one ratio value, and here also we have to multiply with one ratio value. So that is what you used to do. You used to take this as x. So if I take this as x, what will happen is 20 into x. I am not multiplying 20 into 24. I am going to multiply 20x into 24x. This is only for the first time you will remember whenever there is a multiplication, when they say product, it is a multiplication. So if there is a product or multiplication, what you are going to do is you are going to multiply anyways. 20 into 24 we are going to multiply. We will get what? 480. Okay, and x square will become, because it is x into x, is equal to, what they are saying is 4320. So x square will be what? 4320 divided by 480. 4320. So 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 4 is 9, 4 8 is so this should be divisible by 12, I think. This should be divisible by 12. We'll see if it is divisible by 12, or is it divisible by 48. I can see this is 48. 48 ones are 48 nines are. I can say that x square is equal to 9. Why? Because this I found out, therefore x is equal to, that is now. Whenever there is product or multiplication, this you have to remember. The x value or the one ratio will not be 9. One ratio will be square root of 9, which is equal to 3. This is where only when it is a product, not production. Sorry for this, product, or the numbers, the ratios are multiplied, or the numbers are multiplied, there will be a, what? Square, which we need to remember. This is the only thing that is different. Okay, if you remember this, you will be able to solve this very fast. Once I see this number 20 into 24, 480, 480 divisible 9, 9, so x square, x square means x is equal to 3 is your answer. So I think that makes it very clear. Now again one more question. The numbers seem to be very big numbers, complicated numbers. The ratio of Sita's, Riaz and Kunal's monthly income is 84, 76 is to 89. If Riya's annual income is okay, what you need to remember or you have to take care here is sometimes there is monthly income, sometimes there is this monthly income. The ratios are in monthly income and what they have given is annual income. Okay, Riya's annual income they have given. What is the sum of Sita's and Kunal's annual income? Again they are asking annual income. So very careful, you can either change everything into monthly income or everything into annual income. That is the thing you need to do. Okay, you can convert everything into annual income or everything into uh, monthly income. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert the ratios into annual income. How do I do it? Okay, sorry, I'm writing here. Okay, Sita, Ria and Kunal. What they have given is, I'll write it once. 84 is to 76 is to 89. But this is what monthly income or monthly income ratio, MI ratio. But the question here, the actual value given is in annual income and what they are asking is also in annual income. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change it to annual income ratio. Okay, how do I do it? Very simple, my dear friend. 84 into 12. Don't multiply this. Just you have to remember only. You need not have to even write it. You have to remember when you are solving this question. You need to remember that into 12 will be your annual income because there are 12 months in 1 year. So now what will happen? Ria's income. Now actual value is given of Ria's income, right? So Ria's income, annual income is how much? 4,56,000. So then one ratio value will be what? One ratio value. I'll divide this number. I'm not going to write it once again. You know it. 76 into 12. So 12 when it is there, is it divisible by 12? Only we'll see. So 12 threes are 36 and then 12 eights are 96. So this is divisible by 12. So first I'll divide it by 12. 12 ones are 12 threes are 36. 12 eights are 96. So 96. So what will happen here? 1, 2, 3 zeros will come. So you can see I, even though when I divided by, I got the monthly income. Now 76 half is 38. So I can directly say 1 and this is 380 is 5 and therefore it is 500. So one ratio value is 500. Now you can ask me anything, I'll be able to solve this question. So what is sum of Sita's and Kunal's annual income they are asking? So 500 is already there. So I'll take 500 into Sita's annual income will be what? Into 84 into it will be only 84, sorry, into 12, and then we have to add, right? We have to add. So it will be what? Kunal, 89 into 12. All these things should be happening inside your mind. So this, what I'll do, I'll take common here. So 500 into 84 plus 89 into 12. Okay, so I can solve this. 500 means this is very simple actually. If you really understand it, 84 is 164, 164, 173 into 5. You know how to do into 5? Add two zeros and make it half. So this will be what? 8.5, then 3 1.5, 865. 86500 into 12. If you do, you will get the answer. So that will be what? 865 double zeros, okay, into 12, into 12 more. So 12 months. So this is the sum of 1 month of both of them, if you understand. Okay, into 12 we have to do. So into 12 we will do. Into 12 will be what? 10 is 1 zeros and then again this double. So half we have done, then the double will be what? 17300, isn't it? No, 1,73,000. So sorry. So I'll just change this. Okay, into 12 is what I'm doing directly now. So I added a 0, so it is multiplied by 10, and I add 2, so 17,000, 70, so 1,73,000. So if I add this, you will get the answer 1, 2, 3, 8, 7, 6, 13, 8 and 10. 10 lakh 38,000 is the answer. 10 lakh 38,000 is the answer. So this is how you can solve this question. Very, very easy. It may look like difficult, but it is very easy if you really understand it properly. Okay, my dear friend. So let us go to the next question. The ratio of monthly income of Vinod and Rahim is 2:3. The sum of their expenditures is 8,000. If the savings of Vinod is equal to the expenditure of Rahim, then what is the sum of their savings? Okay, so this is again a little bit understanding is required. What they have given will write so that it will be here. So monthly income of Vinod and Rahim is given. How much? 2:3. What else is the sum of their expenditures? Sum of their expenditures is 8,000. Sum of V plus R expenditures, not anything else, not income. This is income, right? So we'll write it. Now there is a little bit different. So we'll understand this properly. Expenditure is equal to 8,000. Okay. Now, if the savings of Vinod is equal to expenditure of Rahim, then what is the sum of their savings? Now, one more information is given that savings of Vinod is equal to expenditure of Rahim. Now, with this information, how do we solve? First thing we have to have in your mind is income is equal to what? So, I am going to write here what is income. Income is equal to expenditure plus savings. So whatever is your income, you can write it other way as well. Income minus expenditure is equal to savings, or income minus savings is equal to expenditure. All these things are fine. Now you can take anything and you will be able to solve. But only thing you need to remember is what is an income. Income we get and we'll spend, and remaining is the savings. So income is equal to expenditure plus savings. Right. This is what is the concept which we already should know. Then only we'll be able to. Now can I make this meaningful? Now I will be able to convert them into, say for example, I will be able to make them into equations, and then I can solve. So this is I'll write income of Vinod as VI and income of Rahim as RI. So Vinod income is equal to Vinod expenditure plus Vinod savings. This is already proven here, right? So this is the first thing we know. So this is first thing we already know. So RI is equal to RE plus RS. So this is what it is, right? And then sum of Vinod and Rahim's expenditure is 8,000. So third thing we know is Vinod expenditure plus Rahim expenditure is equal to 8,000. And the fourth thing we know is savings of Vinod is equal to expenditure of Rahim. So this is the four things we know. Out of this, can we solve it? We will be able to solve it easily. Now try to understand. See, we know the expenditure plus Rahim expenditure is equal to what they have given, 8,000, and they have given we know the savings is equal to Rahim expenditure. So take this first one and use substitute the values here. Substitute this fourth value. So first one is what? We know the income is equal to we know the expenditure plus we know savings. Now this is where the logic comes. We know savings is equal to Rahim expenditure. Vinod savings is equal to Rahim expenditure, and Vinod expenditure plus Rahim expenditure. So if I convert this into this, can I convert this into this? See here, Vinod savings is substituted with Rahim expenditure. When I do this, instead of this I put Rahim expenditure, instead of Vinod savings I put Rahim expenditure, which they have given. It will become what? Rahim Vinod expenditure plus Rahim expenditure, which is what they have given. The sum of expenditures of their expenditure is rupees 8,000. So this becomes what? Vinod's income. Yes or no? Go through again. Very cleverly this question has been posed. So they have given Vinod expenditure. This is what we know. So Vinod expenditure plus Rahim expenditure is equal to 8,000. So Rahim expenditure is equal to Vinod savings. So I can directly write this Vinod expenditure, Vinod savings is equal to Rahim expenditure. So which is equal to, so these are equal now. This and these are equal. Right or wrong? Vinod expenditure and Rahim expenditure being same, these are equal. So therefore Vinod expenditure is equal to, income is equal to 8,000 rupees. So if Vinod income is 8,000, what is Rahim's income? Rahim's income you can directly find out now. Rahim income is equal to what? We know what Vinod income is equal to, income of Vinod is equal to 8,000 and his ratio is 2. So Rahim income I can find out 8,000 divided by 2 into 3, which is equal to 12,000. But they are not asking this, they are asking something else. If the savings, okay, then what is the sum of their savings? Sum of their savings. Now try to understand, my dear friend. Try to understand. We need not have to do this as well if you really understand this. Okay, I just wanted to show you how we can find everything else as well. So now here, what is the sum of their savings? If this is the expenditure, if the expenditure is equal to Vinod's income, then the expenditure, saving should be equal to Rahim income. Yes or no? If this is equal to 8,000, are you getting my point? Both the expenditures are equal to Vinod's income. Okay. Then the savings will be equal to Rahim's income. Therefore, it is 12,000. Understood? If you are not understood, go through once again. I have repeated 2-3 times. Please go through once again. Let us see, is there any other question here? Okay. Okay, one more very interesting question. The income of Asaram, Satpal and Rahim in the ratio 12:9:7, and their spendings are in the ratio 15:9:8. If Asaram saves 25% of his income, what is the ratio of the savings of Asaram, Satpal and Rahim? Very interesting question. So we'll try to solve this. So Asaram, Satpal and Rahim. Okay. Again, this is what? Income. So I'll write here as income so that we are clear about it. So 12:9:7. Okay. And then their spendings. Spendings is expenditure, or you can write as spendings only. That doesn't matter. 15:9:8. Now already we know the previous question we have seen that income is equal to what? Expenditure plus savings. So now there what saying is, now if you see the ratios, the income ratios are less and the expenditure ratios are more. That is fine. That doesn't matter now. Because now we know this can happen, because for the same number it can happen. So smaller number can get bigger ratios, bigger number can have smaller ratio. That all those things happen because they are abstract numbers. If Asaram says 25% of his income, so now what has happened? Asaram is saving 25% of his income. So 25% if he is saying, if you see the previous model when we solved the percentage questions, we have done something. What we had done, 25% if they are saving, means they are saving how much? 1/4. So now from this to this there should be 1/4 less. So what I am going to do is I am going to find out some number, okay, some number which I'll be able to use both the numbers 12 and 15 but with 1/4 less. So what I should take for this? I should take the LCM. This is a different way of solving it, okay? Not the normal way of solving it. This is a totally different way of solving it. So what I'll do, I'll take the LCM of this. What is the LCM? 60 is the LCM. So I'm going to write the new ratios. Okay, income I'll take, okay, new ratio, new income ratio. So I'll take the LCM here. I'll take this as 60. Once I take this 60, I am multiplying this by 5. So I have to multiply all of them by 5. Okay, so 60. 9 5s are 45 and 7 5s are 35. So new incomes of Asaram, Satpal and Rahim is this. Now expenditure, how do I find out? I'll not take this. I'll take only these, but I'll not take this. I'll take the expenditure. Expenditure should be 25% less, right or wrong? Because 25% is savings. So savings. Now if I want the expenditure, it will look like what? Expenditure is equal to income minus savings. So income, if it is 100%, then savings should be expenditure should be 75% in this case. So 25%, that is 1/4, I'll make it less. 1/4 I'll make it less. Then what I'll get? 1/4 of this will be less. If I minus 15, therefore it will be 45. Can you understand what I have done? Because we took the LCM, this is possible. So 25% I have removed from here, the savings 25% I have removed and I got what? 45. 45 is 3 times of 15. If you take the LCM, this will happen definitely. Okay, so 15. So I'll take this 9 into 3 and 8 into 3. 9 3s are 27 and then 8 3s are 24. Now you will be able to solve this question very fast. Now what I got? 15 ratio is equal to, or what is the ratio of savings? Okay, we have to find out the savings now. So we can now directly find out. How can I directly find out? Because these are all now arranged properly. This is 25% less, means everything is now, even if you take their actual income as 60, 45 and 35, you will be able to find out the savings ratio. Because they are asking the savings ratio, I can directly put them as ratio. If they ask me actual value, I will not be able to solve this question because they have not given any actual value. 25% is also an abstract value, or everything is abstract value. What is the ratio they are asking? So I will be able to directly minus, we will get savings as 15. 45 minus 27 will be how much? 18. And 35 minus 21 is equal to how much? 11. So this is their savings ratio. This is their savings ratio. What I did was took the LCM and directly solved. With this, you will be able to solve this much faster. Okay, one more question, bigger question. These are all higher level question, the exam level question, more than exam level question. Sometimes you will be preparing yourself a little bit more than this. So if you are liking my choice of questions, the way I solve, please go and spread this information to your friends. Go and tell and share this information to your friends who are in need of good coaching online. And this is online, you may know the benefit. You will be able to solve the questions wherever you want, whenever you want, and at your own speed. You can go back, come again, and then you are getting it at a very fraction of the amount you are paying. If you include everything, you have to go to some place, you have to book a room, you have to pay for your food, the food that is not your home food, you are not home food which is not hygienic, not tasty, and then you are paying the fees, huge fees. But all this is available at your own mobile phone. And if it is not the one of the best, if you see this video, today's videos, and if you don't feel that this is not one of the best in India, then don't share, don't tell anybody. Okay, don't say that this is good, but I am sure that this is the best, one of the best. If it is not the best, but it is one of the best, the choice of questions and how I solving it. Okay, so go and share to maximum number of people. In class 10 of a school, there are two sections, A and B, with strength ratio 2:1. The ratio of boys and girls in section A is 3:1, and that in section B is 3:5. Students of both these sections are made to stand in the ground in rows of boys and girls, with each row having equal number of students. If the maximum number of students possible in a row is 96, what is the difference between the number of boys in section A and B? Did you understand this? Understanding itself will take a lot of time, right? So let us solve this question. We'll see how do we solve this question very easily and within the time given. Okay, so we'll do it slowly so that we'll understand properly. So again, we are going to do, we had done some question like this previously also, where the ratios have some ratios inside as well. So sections A and B are in the ratio 2:1. Okay, and inside this A again they have given one more ratio, boys to girls. Boys to girls, here also boys to girls, right? So boys to girls is what, 3:1 here, right, for A section, and for B section it is 3:5. 3:5. Now what I need to solve this question, I can go on solving with taking x and all those things. Okay, that is not going to work properly here. So what I am going to do is I am going to take a number and see if it can work properly. If it can work properly, and then we'll be able to solve this. See here, this is 3 plus 5. So can I make it 8 so that I know exactly number of boys? Okay, so can I make it 8? I'm just trying here. Okay, I'm just trying here. I'll make it 8. If I make it 8, I have to make it 16. If I want to make it 16, can I still follow this ratio? Can I still follow this ratio? This is anyways, it is going to be 3:5. That is not a problem. Can I follow this? Yeah, I can do it, because again you can see here, this is 3:1 is total is 4. So this is also multiple of 4. So I will be able to do it. For 4 is 16, so this will be 4, and 4 3 is 12, this will be 12. Now what happens is everything is in place properly. Everything is in place properly, and the same thing has been converted like this. The ratios have been converted like this, and you will be able to solve now very. If the maximum number of students possible in a row is 96, this is one information we need to understand. Okay, if the maximum number of students possible, there is some problem here. Students possible in a row is 96. So in a row 96, and one more thing is what, they are made to stand. They are made to stand in the rows of boys and girls. So boys have to be separate row and girls have to be separate row. Now they are asking what is the difference between the number of boys in section A and section B. What is the difference between the number of boys and number of girls in section A and section B? If we convert like this, see here, if we convert like this, immediately we will be able to know two things in this question. See here, the ratio of girls is what? So this is boys ratio, and this is girls ratio. This is also boys ratio, and this is girls ratio. Total girls ratio is how much? I'll write it here so that it is very clear. Total girls ratio is how much? Girls ratio only. Okay. So now because it is all the same, so the number has to be also same. 9 ratio. And total boys is how much? Total boys ratio is how much? Total boys ratio is 12 plus 3 is 15 ratio. And then you can see here the difference between boys A and B. A and B boys ratio is difference is how much? Ratio only. 12 minus 3 is 9, which is equal to again girls. So I'll be able to solve this very easily. So I have to take the LCM of number of girls, that is ratio of girls and the maximum number of people in one row. Why I have to take? Because if they have to fill, they have to put 96. So the number of girls should be um, multiple of 96, yes or no? Otherwise, 1 or 2, 3 will be less. They are saying equal number of students are standing, so it has to be 96 only. So 96 it has to be, means it has to be the minimum number will be what? 96. Okay, and the LCM of 9 ratio, because it has to be, the number has to be divisible by both 9 as well as 96. So what is the LCM of this? What is the LCM? Why I am taking LCM? If you still you are confusing, you go back and see why. Because we want the number. See, there are 9 ratio means it is to be divisible by 9, and in one row if there are 96 and equal number of people are there in every row, then it has to be divisible by 96 as well. If 96 was divisible by 9, I would have directly taken 96, but 96 is not divisible by 9. So we cannot have 96 girls. We have to have a different number. So we will find the LCM. LCM will be what? You can see here there is 1, 2, 3 is here. There is only 1, 3 here. 9 and 6. So we have 15. So it is divisible by 3, but it's not divisible by 9. So we need another 3. So the LCM is 96 into 3, which is equal to 6 3s are 18 and 3 9s are 27 plus 1 is 288. So there are 288 girls. There can be 288 girls, and if there can be 288 girls, what is the difference between A and B? Can be what? 288 only. It can be 288. The number of boys, the difference between the number of boys in section A and B can be what? 288. Is that clear, my dear friend? You see how did we solve? Go back and see how did we solve. So let us see what is the next question here. Next question is rupees 1004 is divided between 3 men, 4 women and 6 boys, so that the share of a woman, a man and a boy are in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 1. Okay, how much does each boy get? Okay, this is again an interesting question. Okay, L104 is the total amount. Okay, this is total amount, sum, right? Sum of all. Sum of what? This has to be distributed among 3 men, okay, and 4 women and 6 boys. But this is not directly. So each man, everybody is not going to, okay, get the same amount. Again, what they are saying? Each man will get what? 3. So that the shares of a man, a woman and a boy are in the proportion 3 is to 2 is to 1. So if man gets 3 rupees, women gets 2 rupees and boy get 1 rupee. So now you see this amount is not to be distributed equally, it has to be distributed in a different form. So again we are going to combine this. 3 men each will get 3 rupees. Okay, for a ratio purpose we are taking. For ratio purpose we are taking, actually amount may be different, that we will find out. So each man has to get 3 rupees. So total amount to be distributed to men will be what? 9 rupees. Same way 4 into 2 is equal to 8 rupees and 6 into 1 is equal to 6 rupees. So this is what each person will get. Each man, each woman and each boy. They are asking what does each boy get. Therefore I did that. Is it clear now? Okay, what will be the each boy get? So to get that, what I have to do? Now this is the ratio value which is equivalent to this. So these are in the same units, right? So what I'll do to find out one ratio value, 1 RV, L104 divided by the total of this. 9 plus 8 is equal to what? 17. 17 plus 6 is equal to 23, right? Is it correct? Yes. So 23. So we'll see how much it will be divisible by 3 5s 2 5s are 10 and 3 5s are 15. So that is not possible. 4 it will be divisible, right? So 23 into 4 will be what? 80 plus 92, and then what will remain? 8 plus 10 is 18, 184. So it is double. So 48. 23 into 48 is the answer. One ratio value is equal to 48. So each boy will get how much? Each boy will get 1 rupee, right? So each boy will get what? 1 rupee, right? So this is the total number of men, all the men and all the women and all the boys will get. So 1 rupee is each man get. So 1 ratio is equal to how much? 48. So each boy will get how much? 48 rupees. 48 rupees. Did you understand? All right. So let us go to the next question. Okay. So I think you understood this. In the next video, we are going to learn about proportion, which is next. So solve all the questions that are given in today's assignment. It will be a lot of 30-40 questions will be there. Please solve them. And if you have any doubt, you can anyways, we are going to meet in the next Tuesday. Okay, and then we can ask the questions. Is that clear now? So let us go and finish the next video as well.